Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson here. Coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede, we're talking a lot of men's basketball. After a 10-point win over Cal, we talked to Tristan after a victory over Stanford. We connect with Luke O'Brien. Talking women's basketball, they split last weekend with the Washington schools. They're heading to Vegas for the Pac-12 Conference Tournament. And with the NCAA Indoor Championships in Boston coming up this week, we talk with head coach of the track team, Mark Wetmore. All this week in the Buffalo Stampede. And his team hook pass off. De Silva to the rim and a tomahawk jam with the right hand. De Silva with 16 and a timeout by Cal. Colorado dominating on a 7-0 run. Now Tristan De Silva was their player of the game on the radio network as the Buffs knock off the Cal Golden Bears by 10. He had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5-6 assists. He was doing it all out there. In fact, had 18 in the first half. And the senior from Germany joining us here. Well, you came into this homestand. You want to try and sweep things. You've got 2 in your pocket now. This was a big one over Cal, though.
It is, yeah. I mean, to everybody who saw that first one knows what it means to us. So, yeah, that was a big one. And, I mean, they're right there with us in the conference. So,
did you guys get as nervous as I did? I mean, you're up by 14 at the half, just like the first game. And all of a sudden, they came out of the locker room and they're on fire. And a little bit of deja vu all over again.
I wouldn't say nervous. I mean, we kind of, you know, we had to stick with it. Yeah. You know, there's no way around it. So we just tried to stay with it, play best defense we can, contest every shot, and then get a rebound and start running. And, I mean, it worked out at the end. So.
In this ball game, you moved into the number 20 slot all-time scoring here at the University of Colorado. Surpasses Pat Frank, your guy George King, Alec Burks, one of the great scorers in Colorado history. You're just behind Jay Humphreys now. Those are some pretty heady names.
Yeah.
What comes to your mind when you think about or hear about those kind of numbers?
It's just crazy thinking about their legacy. You know, obviously, I'm too humble to say anything about myself. So it's just, you know, it's crazy to think about what those guys achieved, and then I'm mentioned in the same sentence with them.
But you do have to text, I think, George King and give him a little hard time, don't you?
Yeah, I might have to.
Can you believe how quickly 4 years goes by? I mean, you get here and, you know, there's Peach Fuzz-faced kid shows up. We know about you because of your brother. We're like, okay, what's he going to be like? Yeah. And here are 4 years later. I mean, it goes by so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to say. It went like this. So just for everybody out there, just enjoy it.
Yeah, without question. And we still got more games left, by the way. Not over yet. By the way, after the victory over the Cal Golden Bears, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Another good win at home against a really, I think Cal's, I mean, they're good. They're so much better to me than their record. Offensively, they've got good players. They run good stuff. They're well coached. That was a good win. And, you know, we talked at halftime about the game at Berkeley. We're up 14 at half. And as I walk, you know, off the floor, I look up, oh, it's a 14-point game again. I got to remind them of that. And we talked about it. They came out of the second half, and I think they scored 11 of their first 13 possessions of the second half, which not too proud of that. 3 of the first 4 were dunks. So once our guys locked in defensively, we got some stops and extended the lead and then finished it off strong. So really good game, some good individual performances, and collectively, again, 18 assists. We had 12 turnovers, but, you know, 2 of those were shot clock violations at the end, so we really had 10. Those last 2 were on me, so really good there too. And I think we can keep being better in that area, but good win.
There's head coach Tad Boyle after the Buffaloes get the 10-point win over the Cal Golden Bears, talking with Tristan De Silva. He had 22 points in this one. Your guy KJ had, what, 27, 28 in this one again? Yep. How much fun is it playing with him? I mean, we've had some great duos come through here, but the 2 of you are a lot of fun to watch.
I said that in the media, too, in the press conference after the game. You know, it makes it so much easier to play with a guy like that. His maturity this year is off the charts. I mean, if you compare him to last year's KJ, you can't really recognize it. Yeah,
and it's easy to play off because it takes pressure off you, doesn't it?
Definitely.
The way he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of weapons, so everybody kind of takes pressure off of everybody. But definitely KJ, you know, being the point guard that he is and the scorer that he is, definitely takes a lot of pressure off my shoulders.
Tristan, this team offensively right now, only team in the country in the top 10 in field goal shooting percentage, and three-point field goal shooting percentage, and free throw percentage. You're averaging almost 81 points per ball game. It's one of the highest scoring per averages in Colorado history. This team offensively, what makes it so good in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, all the weapons that we got. You know, KJ, Cody, Vaughn, Eddie, off the bench, Luke, Julian. Obviously, I'm in there too.
Yeah.
And so we know how to play together. Everybody can make open shots. So as long as we move the ball and we play together and we find great shots for the team, you know, it's an easy shot for us.
I think the last couple of ball games, 19 assists, I think, against Utah, 18 tonight against Cal. The way you guys move the ball, there always seems to be a willingness to make the extra pass, true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're looking out for each other, and that's when we play our best basketball. So
you wrap up this homestand now on Sunday. You got Stanford coming to town. It's odd to see a team for the first time in March, for goodness sakes. You haven't seen it. You play all these games.
Yeah.
Now you got a team you haven't seen. Give us a quick thought about that game with Stanford.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you know, it's senior night, and my brother went to Stanford, so it's all kind of full circle right here.
Right.
But,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, basketball-wise.
You gonna get emotional?
Yeah, probably so. After the game, for sure.
Yeah.
But they're a great team. We gotta be locked in for that one.
Hey, great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh, season's not over. We're going to see more from this guy, by the way. And by the way, you're creeping up on my broadcast partner, Scott Wilkie. You're 50 behind him.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Score
I'll keep that in
points.
mind.
Make him more irrelevant for me, will you, please? Tristan DeSilva, big ball game. Buffs win by 10 over Cal. We're talking Stanford after the break here in the Stampede.
Tonight, in honoring these two young men who've been at the University of Colorado for now their 4th year, and to see things through, fight through adversity. These guys are what it's about. These two young men right here are what it's about.
Well, some great highlights from senior night here at the Event Center. Colorado Buffaloes get a 10-point win over the Stanford Cardinal as Luke O'Brien, Tristan DeSilva play their final games here at the Event Center. Back at the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. I was kind of impressed. I thought you were going to cry out there, and I didn't see any tears from you.
No, I told my parents I might cry, but no, I felt like I did pretty good.
Yeah, how about pregame, though, when he walked out there, huh?
A little bit, yes, a little bit. Just seeing like all the fans, my teammates running out, that was a little emotional. I got to tell you, the video that they put out, that's when I was actually like tearing up. I had to like leave the locker room because like it was actually pretty emotional. So
It's amazing how quickly. I remember Luke O'Brien, this skinny kid from Columbine, comes rolling in here 4 years ago. You had peach fuzz on your face, right? You look like you were 14 years old, and in a blink of an eye, here it is 4 years later.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. I didn't think it was going to happen, honestly. I thought I was going to be in here forever. But no, it's really cool to just be able to experience this with all the fans here and stuff like that. I'm super blessed to be able to play at this university. So.
What is there one thing, I know you're still in the middle of your senior year, but is there something you think of as you kind of reminisce and look back in your career who you think about right away?
Just my teammates, absolutely. I mean, my 4 years here, I don't think I've had one teammate where I'm just, like, I've been so close to every single one of my teammates. I feel like that's pretty rare, especially in 4 years, and I just love all those guys, so I'm going to miss them, like, immediately after this year.
Luke, don't you think that says something about the culture that Tad has built with this program? The fact that, and there's a lot of guys that stand in this position right now that we talk to that say similar kind of thing.
Right.
That's part of this culture, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is all about the culture is all about togetherness. You know, I mean, we hang out outside of basketball all the time, and I feel like that's why, you know, we have good chemistry on the court as well. But yeah, that's just a great culture to have here, and I'm super blessed.
So I say to you, Tristan DeSilva, the guy that you ended up doing your senior speech out here with, you say what? Tristan DeSilva, what does Luke O'Brien say about Tristan?
Best friend, brother, hardworking, just elite, I guess. Like, those are all 4 things. I mean, it's just, I would be rambling if I could talk about Tristan, because he's just a great person, so yeah.
Well, it was 2 great young men who gave their final speeches here in this court. Finish up the year 16-1, get a 10-point win over Stanford. Afterward, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle. Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
Another good win, and you know, especially on a night where we honored 2 young men who are, to me, what all college basketball is all about. College athletics is all about. They've persevered. They haven't, you know, given up. They've gone through tough times, each in their own way, and to see them honored tonight and given the love that they deserve tonight from our fans and their teammates. it warms your heart as a coach. I can just tell you that. To me, that's what Colorado basketball is all about. It's about young guys learning from old guys, paying their dues, coming in and just getting better. And both Luke and Tristan have gotten better each and every year, incrementally, and it doesn't happen overnight. They've just trusted the process. That's encouraging to know that there's still people out there that respect that. Everybody wants their immediate gratification. They want it right away, and it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it does, but usually not. Usually you got to put in the work, and they've done that. So I'm really proud of them and really proud of our team tonight.
There's head coach after the Buffaloes get the 10-point win on senior night here at the event center, finishing up 16-1 on the home court. How about this fan base out here? Man, that's pretty. 16-1. No team's ever won 16 games here at the event center. You guys are the first one to do that.
I like that. I didn't know that.
That's
I thought
cool.
my freshman year we were up there because I think we only lost one. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, I think it was only one or two. That's
okay,
right.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. No, the fans had a lot to do with it. Obviously, the altitude is a big part. But no, the fans were great tonight, and they've been good throughout the season. So.
Hey, by the way, in the post game, when Tristan was speaking, he said that he had been adopted by your family. Now, did you tell me that your dad has actually traded you in for Tristan?
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. Like he has a sweatshirt and it has number 23 because Tristan gave him like a team issued sweatshirt. Yeah. And so he wears it all the time, and now I'm just kind of disowned.
Luke's a free agent, by the way. He's looking for a new family.
Yeah, I need a new family.
To end on a win like this, it was some pretty impressive win. Stanford's a pretty good offensive team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had to take away their threes. I felt like we did a pretty decent job at that. They're really big, tall, so we had to be able to find areas where we could get the ball inside. But offensively, yeah, they run their stuff really, really well. So
you and Tristan said similar things on the court afterward. We had KJ on the radio network afterward, and he made it very clear that it's not over. We got business still to attend to. This big trip coming up in Oregon.
Absolutely. Oregon's a great team. Oregon State, we can't look past them. It's win or go home, I feel like, for us. I mean, you see all the bracketology stuff like that, where we want to be. Yeah. And we're always in that, bubble area. So I always say it's win or go home for us. So Oregon's, a big matchup. That's our most important game of the season. So, yeah.
Look, this thing, you guys have got kind of a mission. Now, I've said this before, it's not an excuse, but it's a reason. This team has really shown some intestinal fortitude with it. You guys have fought through all the injuries. You're one of the most injured teams in America.
Oh, yeah. We're injured. It sucks. We're injured, it feels like every week. And Raleigh's done such a great job with us. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit to be able to, help us every single day. But once we get healthy, I mean, you see it. We just got a great, talented team.
There's been a toughness about this team to fight through those deals. You have been a pleasure.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Let's make sure the season goes on a little while.
Absolutely, yeah.
Luke O'Brien, he's a local kid, a Colorado kid, 4 years here at Colorado, looking to pick up some big wins this week at Oregon as the Buffs get a 10-point win over Stanford. When we come back, we're talking women's hoops here in the Stampede.
Most of you have no idea how hard it is to do what they do. I mean, it's hard to fathom, the lack of sleep, the road trips, the weight room, the injuries, the pushing through fatigue, I could go on, but this group has set the stage for this program, not just for this year, next year, but for the next 20 years. I mean, look at them. They're incredible people.
Well, there's senior night for the CU women's basketball team as they wrap up the home slate and the regular season with a couple of games at home against the Washington schools, winning on Thursday against Washington and then falling on senior day against Washington State. So the regular season wraps up at 21-8 and 11-7 in Pac-12 conference play. Buffalo's ranked 18th in the country now, heading to Vegas. But after the victory over the Huskies, we heard from head coach J.R. Payne.
Tamia Sadler as well. Long three, and Maddie Nolan.
Really happy to be back at home. Really happy with how we played in spurts. Certainly not 40 minutes, but we played really, really well in some spurts on both sides of the floor. And just pushing through fatigue and some injury and, things like that. I knew we'd be tired. We had the longest trip. We played, on a day later than they did, and just all of that. So I was really happy with how we responded. A lot of different people came in and really contributed at different times. Even played through frustration, maybe missing some shots we normally make, but stayed, kept their head in the game so that when the game was on the line, we were able to really execute and do some good things. So yeah, just proud and happy to be back in the win column. Excited to be home. Happy for senior day coming up.
Get those defenders around the ball and get an open look, and Nolan has that.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we definitely needed to be in the win column again because even though we've played really well, at times, like we played really well, offensively at SC and really, really well defensively at UCLA, things like that, it still didn't translate into a win. And so certainly we are all going to feel better, with getting that sort of out of the way. And now we just want to really dial in and continue to get better.
Ahead, open three into the block, and now she'll fly up the court. Off to Maddie Nolan, fake the three, drives into the rim.
Really excited to win again, and after the game, I don't know, I was jumping around and I was like, guys, we won. Like we have to. I think the season is so long, and you get so caught up in different things, and then the losses, it can be hard. But like just remembering to celebrate every win, whether it's against a top 5 team or whoever, So just excited to be back in the win column for sure.
From the corner, Frida Forbin. Sadler with the bounce pass, off to the right wing, and Kikoweta getting in on the blue game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt nice. My teammates, as always, do a great job of always finding me, and you see a couple times Jalen kicked ahead to me in transition, and I passed it back. But it's nice to play with people that know where you are on the floor and are always looking for you.
Sadler wide open is Maddie Nolan and drains it.
Frida and I don't necessarily have to be shooting threes or even making them to make an impact on the offensive end because we spread the floor out for the kids on our team that are so good at driving. And, obviously you have Nettie in the post, you have Quay who can also shoot it.
Colin, 11 points for the freshman. Bonlay, what a move!
Yeah, I mean, I'm naturally, I always tell people I'm probably the most cup half full person you would meet. But there's balance in that. Like, it's not all sunshine and roses. We still have a job to do. We still have to execute. We still, but definitely I just choose to be positive. And I think, we have great women on our team that want to work hard and want to be successful, want to see each other be successful. So when you have that mindset and sort of that collective effort, it's pretty easy to be that way. And I think it's the right way to go.
Well, there's head coach J.R. Payne after the victory over the Washington Huskies last Thursday. Again, they fell on senior day then on Saturday to Washington State. Again, 21-8, 11-7 in Pac-12 conference play. So the Buffs now, the number 5 seed. They'll take on number 12 seed Oregon in the Pac-12 conference tournament in Las Vegas this week. Coming up next here at the Buffalo Stampede, we're going to talk track and field ahead of the indoor NCAA championships with track coach Mark Whitmore. That's what comes your way next. Well, the indoor track and field season wrapping up here shortly, getting ready for the outdoor season back at the Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, Mark Whitmore. Mark and Mark, the world has been demanding that we bring this segment back, so we're back together.
I'm thrilled. Yeah.
Well, we're not getting raises, though. I want you to know that. No, there's no extra pay for us doing this anymore.
We'll get a new title, Assistant Director of Mark and Mark.
I like it. Well, the indoor season quickly wrapping up. I want to get to the championships coming out in Boston here very shortly, but give us a little recap on how your squad has done here through the indoor season.
Well, we had some good things. Avery had an excellent winter, a school record in the hurdles, I think also a school record in the long jump. Mm-hmm. And then she was 1/4 of a school record in the 4x4. Nick Bianco's making nice progress in the heptathlon, which becomes a decathlon next week.
Yeah.
And some other good runs. A great run by Ella Barron to be our 3rd fastest 5,000 meter runner ever. And it's a tall order on this list here. So.
The 4x400 was just set here, what, about 10, 12 days ago or so up in Seattle.
Yeah,
and that shattered the record here at CU.
I didn't know it shattered it. I knew it broke it. I thought we could break it. Honestly, we thought we could run a little faster, but we got in kind of a slow heat and ran alone. So those 4 can run faster again. Yeah. Maybe an outdoor school record.
In your sport, in basketball, you talk about records. You talk about this kind of thing. In track, do you talk about that kind of thing?
Yeah, we don't keep score until the conference meet. Yeah,
right.
There's no score. Yeah.
So it's not something you're talking with athletes about. You're just looking at personal best, what they can do and improving upon that, correct?
Yeah, advancing towards contributing later. It's not uncommon that our throwers are at one track meet and our sprinters are another and our distance runners are another. Yeah. It's all supposed to come together at the conference and the nationals.
This might be an odd question, but those are the kind of questions I ask. As a head coach of a track team with so much stuff and all the different types of athletes and events, how do you kind of oversee that, or how does the whole thing work?
Well, I'm lucky to have assistants, a full complement of assistants that I trust, and so I try not to micromanage. the Malones and Burke. I try to move around and see people as I can. It's not uncommon that I'm with the distances in Seattle when the sprinters are at New Mexico. So the first time we're all together as one big, mostly happy family is usually the conference meet. And that's fun because that's when I get to see everybody.
So now what we got coming up here now this weekend in Boston at, what am I told? It's the track at New Balance.
Yeah, New Balance built a new facility about 2 years ago. Okay. There's only been a handful of meets in it.
All right. And it's the NCAA Indoor Championships.
Yep. 3
athletes. Talk a little bit about who's going out there.
Avery again, she's qualified in the pentathlon, so 5 events in one day, all day Friday done. Abby Glynn, who set our school record in the 400 this winter, she made the 400 meter first round there, get through Friday, she'd run again on Saturday.
Okay.
And then, as I mentioned, Ella Barron's 5,000 advanced her, that's Friday night, one and done.
This is some pretty heady stuff here. This event, it's the top 16 in each event.
It's so competitive.
Is that
Yeah, it's psycho. It's gotten so competitive.
I mean, the best of the best.
The best of the best. Think of how good people talk about the 4-minute mile.
Yeah.
100 guys ran 4 minutes in the mile this winter. Between the fast shoes and the new tracks and the setup races, everything's so much faster. I think if you don't run 45 seconds, you don't even advance to the NCAA. It's gotten crazy.
That's interesting you talk about that. You don't think of technology, I guess maybe I don't. When someone's out running, they're running fast. But the technology is having an impact on track and field.
The shoes and the tracks have changed everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Speaking of that, we've got a brand new track here at the University of Colorado. You got a meet coming up next week or 10 days from now, and then the Pac-12 championships are coming.
Middle May.
Tell about the progress of how that's coming along.
Well, Rick began a new track for us in the spring of 23. We had no home meets because the bulldozers were idling in the parking lot, so to speak. It threw off our 23 season a little bit, but it had to be done. If we were going to host 24, we needed a new track.
Yeah.
Our old track was built on technology from 1965, so it needed a lot of work, millions of dollars, scraped down to the dirt, start all over again, and it's finished. Has some cosmetic things yet to do, and then some things yet to be done in the new building. It's going to be a good building.
You know, just for the record, there are some still things around from 1965. They're still pretty good, though.
Yeah, some of the best. Yeah.
Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right.
Goodbye,
Mark
everybody.
Wetmore and the track team heading out to Boston for the NCAA Indoor Championships, and then they've got the Pac-12 Championships coming up in the middle of May. As we put a wrap this week in the Buffalo Stampede, I'm voice of the boss, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.